Very good morning to all of you students. Welcome to the fifth class. In this session, we will study chapter number 12 of class 12, and the name of the chapter is Alternating Current. Student, this is the most important chapter, and in this chapter, we will discuss some most important topics. So, first of all, I want to tell you what are the content of this chapter. So in this chapter we will discuss peak value, mean value, RMS value of alternating current and voltage. There are some important types of circuits, their impedance, their resistance, and LCR series circuit, and in the last power in AC circuits, wattless current and transformer and generator. So these are the important topics which will be discussed here in this chapter. So student, this is a very broad chapter, so we will discuss this chapter into two parts. So in the first part we will discuss some important topics. So first part is, okay student, starts the first part of this video. So first of all, I want to tell you what is the meaning of alternating current and alternating voltage. So as you know that a current whose magnitude and direction both are changes with respect to time are called alternating current, and a voltage whose magnitude and direction both are changed with respect to time is called alternating voltage. So there is a formula V naught is equal to NBA omega. So this formula is derived from rotating an armature in the magnetic field. So from this formula we get the standard formula of alternating voltage, and it will be V is equal to V naught sine omega t. So this is the standard equation of alternating voltage. Clear? Okay student. Now in the case of current, so in the same way, if we want to find the equation of current, so we can write here I is equal to I naught sine omega t. These are the two important equations of alternating voltage and alternating current, where I naught and V naught are the peak value of alternating current and voltage. Omega is the angular frequency. Clear? Okay. Now, student, we will discuss here some basic terms related to alternating currents. So first is minimum, maximum value or peak value or amplitude. So as you know that the alternating voltage or alternating current moves when a coil is rotating in the magnetic field. So in first case, its magnitude becomes maximum in upper direction, and in the next case its magnitude becomes maximum in the lower direction. So this maximum amplitude is called peak value of alternating current or alternating voltage. It is generally represented by V naught or I naught. Now periodic time. In one complete rotation of a coil rotating in a magnetic field, the current produces in the circuit rises from 0 to maximum value in one direction and falls maximum to 0 in another cycle, another direction. So the total time period in which a current moves a complete cycle is called periodic time. It is represented by capital T, and capital T is equal to 2 pi by omega. Now, frequency. The number of cycles completed by an alternating current in 1 second is called frequency of alternating current. It is represented by small f, and small f is equal to 1 upon capital T. That means the frequency of alternating current is reciprocal of time period. So f is equal to omega upon 2 pi. Its unit is hertz or cycle per second. Now student, mean value and root mean square value of alternating current. So first of all we will discuss here what is the mean value of alternating current. And alternating current flows during one half cycle in one direction and in other half cycle in another direction. That means the total value of alternating current in a complete cycle is 0. So here we will find the mean value of alternating current for a half cycle. and it will be Im, that means mean current, is equal to 1 upon T by 2, that means half cycle, integral 0 to T by 2 I into dt. So we first of all we will put here the value of I, that means the equation of I equals to I naught sin omega t, and t is equal to 2 pi by omega. In the above equation we get Im is equal to omega upon pi integral 0 to pi upon omega I naught sin omega t into dt. So on integrating we get the required value Im is equal to 2 upon pi into I naught. On simplification we get 0.637 I naught. That means the average value of alternating current in half cycle is 0.637 times of the peak value of alternating current. Clear? Okay student. Now the root mean square value of alternating current. From the definition it is clear, the root mean square or RMS value of alternating current is defined as the square root of the average of I square during a complete cycle. That means first of all we will find the value of I square, and after that we will take its bar, and taking bar finally we take root of this value and we get the root mean square value of alternating current. So I square bar is equal to 1 upon capital T integral 0 to T for the first half, for the complete half cycle, I square into dt. Now put t is equal to 2 pi by omega and I is equal to I naught omega, I naught sin omega t. So we get omega upon 2 pi integral 0 to 2 pi by omega I naught square sin square omega t into dt. Now changing sin square omega t into cos, because there is no integration of sin square omega t. So convert into cos omega t, and solving we get finally omega upon 2 pi I naught square upon 2 in bracket 2 pi upon omega. So on simplification we get IRMS is equal to I naught upon root 2. That means it is 1 upon under root 2 times of peak value. So on solving we get the final value of IRMS is 0.707 times of the peak value. Clear? In the same way we can also find the VRMS value, RMS value of voltage. So VRMS is equal to V naught upon under root 2. It will be 0.707 V naught. Clear? Okay students. Now if we want to find the power in the AC circuit, so it will be P is equal to I square into R. That means the square of current multiplied by the resistance. Now student, we discuss here two important terms. First is I virtual, that means virtual alternating current. So virtual alternating current is also equal to IRMS value. We can say IRMS value is also known as virtual current, and it is equal to I naught upon under root 2. In the same way V virtual is equal to V RMS. So V naught upon under root 2. Now we will discuss here phasor and phasor diagram. So if we represent the motion of a current or voltage of any alternating current on the x-axis and y-axis with the help of a ray diagram, then such diagram is known as phasor diagram. Or if we represent it by the magnitude, then there is another method to represent these alternating current with the help of phasor or by the angle. So these diagrams are called phasor diagram. Okay students, now we will discuss here different types of AC circuits. So in this lecture we will discuss there are all different types of possible AC circuits which are used in the AC circuits. Okay, so first is circuit containing resistance only. So you can see in the diagram there is a circuit diagram in which only resistance is connected with the help of a AC source, and the source is V is equal to V naught sin omega t, and there is a resistance which is directly connected to the AC source. So when only resistance is connected to the AC source, In this case, the equation of voltage will be V is equal to V naught sine omega t, and from the figure we know that V is equal to IR. That means we can place here V naught sine omega t is equal to IR. So I is equal to V naught upon capital R into sine omega t, and V naught upon capital R is also equal to the peak value of electric current. So the equation becomes I is equal to I naught sine omega t. So this is the required equation of alternating current when only resistance is connected to the alternating circuit. Now the phasor diagram is given as, in this diagram the motion of a alternating current and voltage in the waveform is given, and the second diagram shows a inclination of alternating voltage and alternating current from the x-axis. Clear? So these are the phasor diagram. Now the next topic is circuit containing inductance only. That means if we connect only inductance with the AC source, then such types of circuits are called circuit containing inductance only. You can see in the diagram here, AC source is connected by the inductor whose inductance is capital L. So for this case, we know that the general equation of alternating voltage is V is equal to V naught sine omega t, and when inductor is connected to the circuit, then we know that the EMF of any inductor is E is equal to L di upon dt. So here the direction is opposite, that means we can use minus L di upon dt. Now, so put this value in the above equation, we get V naught sine omega t minus L di upon dt is equal to 0. So we can get L di upon dt is equal to V naught sine omega t. So here di is equal to V naught upon L sine omega t into dt. Now on integrating we get I is equal to V naught upon L in bracket minus cos omega t upon omega. So finally we get equation I is equal to I naught sine omega t minus pi by 2. So it shows that in the case of inductor, that means when inductor is only connected to the alternating circuit, then the current flowing in that circuit will be lag behind by angle pi by 2 from the inductor. Clear? Now the phasor diagram for this circuit is, in the first case you can see the motion of current and voltage is given, and the peak value is represented by I naught and V naught. Now in the second case you can see that the angle between I naught and V naught is 90 degree, and I naught is lagged by angle 90 degree from the V naught, that means peak value of alternating voltage. Clear? So these both are important phasor diagram. They are generally asked in the board examination. Now student, inductive reactance. As you know that when we take any wire, then its resistance is represented by capital R. In the same way, when any inductor is connected to any circuit, then inductor also have a resistance which is known as inductive reactance, and inductive reactance is generally represented by XL, and it is also equal to omega L, so it will be 2 pi FL. So omega L or XL is the inductive reactance of any inductor. Clear? Now the inductive reactance increases with the increasing frequency of the current. That means if the number of fluctuations are increasing in the alternating current, because we know that alternating currents are those currents which are moving in different direction, that means in the first half cycle upward, in the second half cycle downward, then the number of oscillations are take place. And so when we increase the number of oscillations, number of fluctuations in the alternating current, then inductive reactance are increases because it is directly proportional to the frequency. Clear? Okay. Now the third one is circuit containing capacitance only. In this case we take a circuit where only capacitance is directly connected with the help of a AC source. So in this case the general equation of voltage is same as V equals to V naught sine omega t, and for the capacitance, we know that Q upon C is equal to V. V means that is voltage. V naught sin omega t. So here I is equal to dq upon dt, because we know that the rate of change of charge is equal to current. Now we can put here d upon dt is equal to C V naught sin omega t. On solving we get I is equal to V naught upon 1 by omega C sin in bracket omega t plus pi by 2. Now finally on solving we get the general equation of alternating current for the circuit containing only capacitance. It will be I is equal to I naught sin omega t plus pi by 2. So we see here in the case of capacitance only, the current leads by angle pi by 2 with voltage. So you have to learn, in the case of capacitance current is lead by angle pi by 2, and in the case of inductance only the current is lag by angle pi by 2 with the voltage. The phasor diagram is given as, in the first diagram the motion of voltage and current is shown in the figure, and the second diagram you can see here very easily, current is lead by angle pi by 2 with the voltage V naught. Now capacitance, capacitive reactance. So as you know that in the case of inductor, inductive reactance is take place in the same way in the case of capacitance, capacitive reactance take place, and it is represented by Xc. So Xc is equal to 1 upon omega c, and it will be equal to 1 upon 2 pi Fc. So student, the capacitive reactance decreases with increased frequency of the current, and it is reciprocal of the inductive reactance, because in the case of inductive reactance is directly proportional to the frequency, but here capacitive reactance is inversely proportional to the frequency. That means when the number of turns are increases, then capacitive reactance decreases. Clear? Okay students. Now, the next topic is circuit containing inductance and resistance in series, that means LR circuit. So, in the case of LR circuit, uh, inductance and resistance both are connected in series with the help of alternating source. V is equal to V naught. So, student, here two things are connected. First is inductor and second is resistor. So VL is the voltage across inductor and VR is the voltage across resistance. So with the help of a diagram you can easily understand the direction of VR and I will be same, and VL is perpendicular to the direction of VR. That means the angle between VR and VL is 90 degree, and the resultant of VL and VR is V, and it is inclined by angle phi with x-axis. So students, first of all we know that VL is equal to I into XL, because VL is the voltage across inductor and VR is the voltage across resistor, I into R. Now the resultant voltage V square is equal to V square R plus V square L with the help of Pythagoras theorem. So we can also write here V square is equal to I square in bracket R square plus XL square. So I is equal to V upon under root R square plus XL square, where R square plus XL square in under root is the effective resistance of the circuit, which is also known as impedance and represented by capital Z. So we can write here Z is equal to under root R square plus omega L square, because XL is equal to omega L, and this resistance is known as effective resistance. Now we can also find the angle made by the resultant with x-axis, and it is represented by tan phi is equal to VL upon VR, or finally XL upon R. So we can write here tan phi is equal to omega L upon capital R. Clear? So this is the description about LR circuit. So student, in this video we will discuss only some topics, and in the next video we will discuss the rest topic of the chapter. So thank you very much. Keep watching the video and learn as much as possible. Thank you very much.